Test, test. Hello, welcome back to Blender CC Live. In this episode, I want to talk about how we can set up some kind of vertigo fly effects, kind of like when you are flying using drone. It's probably something that you haven't tried, but lately I've been actually getting really into drone thanks to the DJI Neo. So I've been flying in a few places, usually in a isolated place because it's really hard to find place that you can fly in Sydney, Australia, especially around the city. But I've been looking at some videos like this one from Skyhigh film. He fly in quite nice place like abandoned place, and also with the drone like DJI Neo, uh, he can fly around architecture place building. It's not always possible unless you are inside a video game or if you have permission to fly around the buildings. Yeah, the Genio is really I really get into this drone thanks to this one because it's very affordable, like $300 in Australia. I think it's like anything price like $300, you can afford it, especially if you think like you're gonna use it for a year and you probably need the remote and at some point get the goggles to get some kind of first person fly experience. But anyhow, yeah, I want to show you in Blender 4.3 that's now have a carve tools. And I want to talk about the fast Boolean Booltron that's kind of hidden. You can also look at the add-on that's already out there like GridModeler, BoxCutter, SketchNCarve. It's all very cool. It makes use the most of Blender, like using the Blender powerful Boolean and etc. So if you want to build anything, uh, as you already know, okay, when you start Blender, you got the box. You can delete it using X. You can start building things like so. If you want to have like some kind of concrete place, concrete abandoned place, you can make it very quickly. Hold options, and you can use the cylinder if you want to hold options or shift. So this kind of thing, duplicate it, and then repeat Shift R. So yeah, that's kind of nice and cool. With the latest with Blender 4.3, we actually have this carve box carve tool. Let me actually add more. So you can easily place objects like that. And then you have this box carve, circle carve, and polyline carve. What is this exactly? Um, without, let's see, without with something selected, if I just draw something, it's gonna carve into that object. If you are in orthographic view, it's gonna be more precise in a way that it's gonna exactly carve into that. Oh, okay, that seems to be failing on that view. Let me try again. Orthographic carve. Yeah, it should work most of the time. This is actually, it reminds me of SketchNCarve add-on. So if you select a bunch of objects, I believe you can carve into all of this at the same time. When it works, it works. But that's kind of neat. You can quickly create uh, abstract looking objects that you can fly through. So if we put this guy, if we want to carve through all of this very quickly, can go to top view, carve it using circle. Yeah, okay, it carved most of them. I don't know why it fails on the top one. Interesting. Anyhow, we also have polyline carve, where we can draw any shape of polygon and then carve into it. Sometimes it fails, isn't it funny? Hmm, okay, that's weird. But anyhow, I want to show you also, we have, as you already know, we have extension. In the past, we have Bool tool already for to do Boolean, but there's this new add-on called Booltron, so you can just install this extension using this add-on, and you just search for Booltron and just activate it. You can, yeah, check the options, but also check the tutorial, go to the extensions. It's gonna take you to the extension and then also the GitHub where you can converse. You can ask the developer if you want to add anything. There's also like a tutorial demo on Booltron. Okay, there's an ad. Don't worry about it. But basically, if you, let's say you draw cube, okay, you draw that objects, move it a little bit, and then duplicate it, and then repeat. If you select these guys and select the last one there, you can Booltron that thing. So this add-on come in destructive flavor and non-destructive flavor. Which one you want? Maybe destructive for now. Just do the difference so you can cut through. Let's undo that. Let's try non-destructive. Difference, it's gonna create modifier. Let's turn on cavity and shadow so we can see more clearly. So this guy is still editable. Well, this guy is getting modifier and Boolean difference from this guy. If you go to edit using tab, you can move this thing around. Okay, you can also do it in object mode and get that scale, the y-axis. So it's a live Boolean. So yeah, so that's the idea. And once you have something that's interesting enough, you can start flying. If you go F3, you can get fly navigation, right? Fly navigations, and then you start controlling using AWSD. A, D go side by side, and then there's also Q to go down. So imagine yourself now like a drone flying. So when flying drone, especially if your drone is really small and the building is really big, we need to think about the unit size and also the speed. Very likely when you start using the drone, you want to go really fast. But actually, yeah, the flying really fast is like a high thrill, right? You can feel the adrenaline. But let's see if we can go up there, and then I can move up and down using E. Okay, I don't have hole there. I just move this way. So fly navigation in Blender is actually built in. This part, if it's getting tricky, like I mean, if we go F3 and just fly and then start using AWSD, you will see that sometimes it goes too fast and it's hard to control. the easier way is to use the shift tilde. So with shift tilde, you actually gonna get the crosshair there, and you can move slowly, just like a real drone. And then if you want to go down, you can move this down while moving up. So it's almost like a real drone. Once you get the control, so you can dive into it using shift. So a little bit. I mean, ideally, you control this using the game controller in a game engine like Unity, Godot, or Unreal. But this is just kind of fun things you can do inside Blender. Okay, if you hold shift and then fly, it's gonna go really fast. So slow and smooth like this without shift is actually a good starting point to fly. Moving the mouse is just like if you are using the FPV goggle, you look ups and down, or I mean, you just move the remote controller and you can go up or down. If you want to do like orbit, you can do the same thing while moving the mouse and moving side by side. So that's possible. And then also the Q and E to go vertically. So drone also has its own language of uh, like a camera works that you might encounter eventually, but yeah, that's something you want to discover yourself. But yeah, without having a real drone, you can simulate this inside Blender. That's my point. And if something might feel incomplete, maybe here you need to have some kind of environment. The monkey head, okay, the monkey head is 2 meters. Also, kind of like a unit you can count on. So the monkey head is like 2 meters, around 3 meters, 2 meters in dimensions. Something to keep in mind. So you can put a monkey head and the world. Okay, you need the world. You need to put in like 360 environment. Just use the sky texture for now. Yeah, I think that's should be okay. If you want to have a globe, use UV sphere, wireframe this, adjust the thickness. You can change the color just to give you some kind of, just to avoid some kind of vertigo effects. You can actually go inside the camera as well and then lock the camera and start flying this way. This give you maybe more context, the framing, and you can start flying the drone. I mean, if you are flying in the real world, it's more exciting because there are a lot of other factors like the wind, and also you are flying drones, like maybe it could be like a cheap drone or more expensive one. Let's say you are using DJI Neo, it's $300 Australian dollar. It's not super expensive, but still it's $300. You can hit the wall, right? Hit the wall, and but so far I think I did like around 20 or more accident with, like it hits the wall or just almost drown into water, but I was pretty lucky with the drone so far. I did crack the lens a little bit. So yeah, flying drones, and you can do like speed up with inside Blender. It's kind of basics, but still pretty good. So what else? Ray tracing, enable ray tracing. This also kind of nice to have. Okay, while flying, I'm using EV. So yeah, you can record your fly navigations while inside the camera. just keyframe and then enable auto keying and start flying. Oops, let's go back. I lost everything. Okay, view, frame all. Wait, what happened? Nothing happened. View, frame all. Save. Okay, better save. Drone thing. Select Suzanne. View, frame selected. Okay, now we are good. Go inside camera. Shift tilde. Start the playback. Okay, playback first and then shift tilde. Should start recording. Select the camera. Okay, it's already recording. Let's say 3000 frames. Start playback and then fly. Okay, now the drone is ready. And while flying, if it's a real drone, the drone will have like life span, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something. And you will see it's kind of exciting, but also it's you might think, okay, 15, 10 minutes, not too much, but it's actually pretty good. Um, Depends on your drone, of course, but I'm talking about DJI Neo. It's a small little drone that you can fly around building. Inside Blender, you can create like crazy type of buildings, of course, but usually you like to fly into the gap and things like that. And because I think the DJI Neo is pretty small, it's easy to kind of just go through the gap. I don't know. I really think, okay, next time I might do like I might just do a scan of, it doesn't need to be a real building. You can stack objects and then you scan it using the iPhone or other smartphone, just use Polycam or something, Polycam app, and then you bring it into Blender and start flying. So this really simulate like FPV drone. Well, once you get a hang of it, it's pretty fun. So I just fly very fast now going around. So then, oh, actually, I have to stop because the battery, it goes over the limit. It goes back to 0 now. We just repeating the thing. Okay, yeah, this is our keyframe from before. Yeah, flying drone is not, uh, if you use a real camera and moving the camera around, like it feels different to flying drone, but I think the drone give more flexibility. You can fly anywhere in 3D space, so it's like spatially moving. And you when you go like really high, also it's give interesting feel. Maybe there's a way to adjust the smoothness of the keyframe here. Graph editor, key density, estimate. Okay, not too much. Nice smooth. Okay, probably smoother now. Yeah, we start to get like a tilt as well. In a real FPV, with the real FPV drone with a goggle, you can actually get like a crazy tilt. Okay, maybe, yeah, probably it's not 100% the best workflow, but I just want to show you where to start. Okay, and if you want to, let's go out the camera. If you want to, you can also draw and paint using grease pencil. Just draw some graffiti on this object on the surface, give it like a 0.002, and just paint something. This is your own 3D um, environment, so you're free to do whatever. Oh, by the way, there's also this option, project into selected. You can draw, and then it will project into selected object. Maybe useful, but don't go too crazy, I guess. Just draw wherever you like, and then fly again. Shift tilde, fly over it. Can definitely made a better environment, I guess, to just give you the idea. So yeah, that's basically what I want to show you. Play around with this. If you can try, if you want to try GridModeler, BoxCutter, the famous one, SketchNCarve using grease pencil, and Booltron. Booltron is new and pretty powerful. So that's pretty much what I want to show you in this video. Hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.